At kaugnay pa rin po ng matagumpay na paglulunsad ng Unified Emergency Hotline 911 ng gobyerno noong isang linggo. Alamin naman natin kung gaano nga ba ito kaepektibong magamit ng mga otoridad sa pagtugon po sa mga emergency at paano nga ba makatutulong ang sistemang ito sa ating mga mamamayan at otoridad. To know more about the technology and other details about the Unified Hotline 911, we have here in the studio Mr. Don Ferguson, the founder and CEO of Next Generation 911 or NGA 911. Welcome to the show and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, tell us more about the Next Generation 911. What is the system about, the technology, and what makes it different from the traditional emergency response system?
So we've brought the 911 system from the United States here to the Philippines. And that was really driven by our CFO, who is Filipino.
Okay.
This started about 5 years ago for us. And what it brings here to the nation is the best technology that's possibly available for emergency response and 911 call handling.
So what specific services does NGA 911 offer to the public?
So when you dial 911 first, what we noticed 5 years ago when we first came here is that there were many numbers to reach 911. So it eliminates the confusion. You dial 911. And similar to the United States, when you dial 911 in the United States, you get a response very quick.
Yeah.
And we noticed that that difference immediately when we installed the system, that call is routed immediately, it's delivered to a dispatcher, and you can expect immediate response similar to what has been experienced in the United States. So we're pleased to bring that to the country. One of the most, one of the most important aspects is when you dial 911 from your cell phone, your location is made available.
Right away.
And right away. And we've worked with technology partners like Google to ensure that that's the case.
Okay.
So you can imagine the use cases and the difference that that can make in the case of, say, flooding where someone is trapped and they need help. Knowing their location is critical, and having that done automatically when you dial 911 is important. Or in the case of an abduction, when someone is lost or disoriented, you dial 911, they can get you response within about 2 meters of your location.
Okay, so the one on the line, when he answered the call, so the authorities near the one calling can actually respond right away?
So the dispatcher will receive the call, so you dial 911, your location is delivered to what is called a dispatcher, which is a new kind of concept here in the Philippines. We're bringing that from the US to the Philippines. The dispatcher sees the location, they are then able to convey that location to the local police, fire, or medical for the response and direct them to exactly where you're at.
All right. So how is now your collaboration and coordination with different local government units and also various authorities to make the system effective?
So it's been incredible, and it's been a journey. Again, 5 years. Last week we just launched the National 911. We did that with DILG, Secretary Remulla, and also Bureau of Fire Chief Fernandez. The collaboration is really close, and what's unique about 911 is that it's not only a collaboration of the government, it's also private enterprise as well. So we've done that with PLDT, and as well the other carriers, Globe and Ditto, have joined forces as well. This is a substantial collaboration for many technology and government agencies for the protection and safety of citizens here in the Philippines.
This will really be a big help to our fellow Filipinos.
Yes.
Now, I understand that with this technology bringing into the Philippines, of course, the people who will handle it should be ready. So how is the training with all those who will be behind the line of this 911?
So what we noticed is it's a process. So what we noticed, first we had to get the technology there. We had to make sure that the technology was resilient, it was scalable, it wouldn't fail. And once you have that in, the dispatchers come in and they start fielding calls. We start gathering metrics and KPIs, and we start to offer training programs to the dispatchers for improved response.
All right. Now, how do you filter the prank calls?
So prank calls are a big problem, I will say. It is incredibly important that 911 be dedicated to those people who need help when and where they need it. What we've done is we have a technology that recognizes those prank callers, and there are many.
Okay.
There are callers that are calling 911 anywhere from 1,000 calls in a day to several hundred. And so we recognize those numbers and we filter those. There's a process within the government to recognize those, filter those, and to redirect them so they don't clog up public safety resources.
Aside from calling, can you also text 911?
Texting is coming. We're working with the carriers to make sure that happens. First step is to get the calling, the location, the training, and now we add text.
How do you make the technology friendly for persons with disabilities?
Texting, video streaming, which is coming as well. Making sure that 911 is accessible for everyone, regardless of their abilities, is important.
All right. How can you handle this time the high volume of calls, especially if there is like an ongoing disaster or a bad weather that the people are experiencing, and there will be high volume of calls? Can the technology handle those high volume?
So technologically, we need to make sure, and we have, that the system is scalable. We've worked with leading providers here in the country, PLDT, to make sure that the system expands when, for example, heavy rains come and there's flooding, and it can take in quadruple the number of calls as normal. So it's scalable. Also, we make sure that staffing, so you can have quadruple the number of calls, but you also have to make sure that you have staffing. And that's why DILG is introducing additional command centers at the regional level to make sure that staffing can be expanded as well to take in those number of calls. So it's a combination of technology and staffing that's able to handle that additional call volume.
All right. Well, more on NGA 911. Beside the Philippines, which other countries does NGA 911 currently serve?
So we brought the technology from the U.S. We operate in several states across the U.S., California, Nevada, Florida, and several states. And we're also working with several countries here within the ASEAN region. And there's, in fact, what you should be proud of here in the Philippines is that you are the technology leader in 911 now. With the launch of the National 911, the Philippines is now a spotlight and a feature of this service here. As well, we're working with several countries in Europe.
All right, so what is your mission, the NGA 911, for bringing this technology to the Philippines? What do you look forward?
Well, it started for us with our CFO, who's Filipino, Ishka Villacisneros, and her vision, I'll speak for her, she couldn't come on this trip, was to make sure that the 911 system in the Philippines was as good or better than the 911 system in the United States. And quite simply, what that means is it's accessible by everyone, but also most importantly is that anyone in the Philippines gets emergency response when they dial 911 immediately, whether it be police, fire, or EMS, and that response is within just a few minutes. That's our vision.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today and telling us more about this unified 911 system that has been recently launched. Thank you for bringing this technology, and you know this comes very handy when emergency comes. And especially we experience a lot of typhoons coming in, and some people really want to be rescued right away. So I hope this will be very helpful to the communities, and for sure it will. Marami pong salamat, as we say in Filipino. Maraming salamat, Don.
Thank you.
Thank you again. We had Mr. Don Ferguson, the founder and CEO of NGA 911. Thank you very much.